Hey guys, Jeremiah with Steps Pressure Washing and More. We are in luck today on a very slow end of our March. We got a call about one of our previous clients that we've been kind of bugging for about a year and a half, saying, hey, it's time to come clean your house. And she gave me a call and said, hey, my HOA gave me till the end of the month. Can you come out now? And I said, yeah, I think I can. We are right smack in dab in the middle of pollen season. I don't know if you can see these trees behind us here, but North Carolina's pollen season is epic. It's unlike any other. And during this downtime, I actually did a couple things to get ready for spring. So the first thing, and I'm super excited about this, is I actually added Sumo Springs to the truck. And for those of you guys who don't know what Sumo Springs are, they look a little something like this. And they're basically just airless airbags. And I had a pretty significant sag, almost 3 inches of sag on the truck when I had the trailer hooked up. It is a medium duty truck, maybe light duty truck. And I've got ever since we got the bigger trailer, I've noticed a lot of sag, and the sag's getting worse, which means that springs are getting too much wear and tear on them too fast. So that we don't end up with any issues, I went ahead and added some Sumo Springs on here. I'll show you what they look like in just a second under the truck. It only took me 2 hours. Surprisingly, it was very difficult to get started because I have no idea what I'm doing. But with a little bit of break-free solvent or oil, I was able to get the original bolts off of the bump stocks and then add on some Sumo Springs. Just putting the trailer on right now, I lost a 1/4 inch of height, and so that leaves me with 2 3/4 inch more on the rear end than what we had before. So now it sits nice and level, even fully hooked up, and that brings me to my next thing I've done is I moved a couple things on the trailer, and I re-tied down the water tank. So I am planning on hauling, I'm going to start with about 50 gallons of water in here. I never want to be hauling 275. For those of you who watch this video, if you ever see me carry 275, call me out, because I don't want to be carrying that much, but I want to carry enough to keep me going and get me started so I don't have to wait on water. And that was one of the big things, was I didn't want to overload the springs on the truck any more than I already was, because I was almost bottoming out. So now this is way sturdier than it was. I just had it with a couple of ratchet straps slung around it. Now I have all 4 corners, and this thing is not moving. This is great. I also moved my gas tank over to the gas can, or the gas tank side, where I fill up my truck, so I can now fill up that without having to crawl into the trailer. I had it right here. And when I moved the tank forward, which it was actually originally forward, it kept sliding back and sliding back. So now I also have more clearance on my hose reels. So this was a much needed redo. And I've got a few other things, including this chem tank, that I want to move, but that's going to be for another time. But I'll get under here and I'll show you kind of what these Sumo Springs look like. Right up there. So it is partly compressed already. It's holding that load, but that should help keep me stable while I'm riding down the road and not bottoming out nearly as much, and keeping everything from bumper to bumper nice and level, so that all my fluids are correct and I have the correct amount of traction on the front rather than lowering my traction on the front. So I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to see how it rides with the trailer. It did ride a little stiffer with no trailer on last night, but I think that was expected, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go wash something. Got my House Call Pro app pulled up. Just gonna come right over here, hit that little button, come down here to open map and set status on my way. That brings up my Google Maps and lets them know I'm on my way. All right, so here we go. This is been about 3 years since I've been out here. Do a little oxidation check here. This is not the south side, but definitely heavily oxidized where the sun's hitting. We were out here 3 years ago. It was our second year, and I had no idea what I was doing back then as far as marketing. We had a great system for washing. We knew how to treat customers like people, but I had no idea how to get new customers. So this one was, we got kind of set up with a realtor. Just, I mean, this right here is, that's really all the green on this one, other than a little bit here and there on the white trim. But luckily this was a realtor that we work with, helped us find this client, and we have been grateful for her. I do want to note a considerable amount of damage here to the back. This looks like, I don't know, maybe rocks hit it. Maybe there was I'm not sure, but a lot of damage here to the back siding. I'm grateful for that realtor for sending so many clients our way when she didn't have to. So we always try and make sure to take care of her clients as best we can as well. Nice stained deck here on the back, and I will do a pre-rinse on that to make sure we're not discoloring anything. But this is pretty simple and straightforward. I do remember last time I was here, the spigot on this side, it really freaked me out. I had spilled a little bit of SH on the driveway, and when I turned the spigot on, it didn't put out any water, and it takes about 3 or 4 turns before you loosen it up to get water. So that scared the heck out of me the first time I was out here. But also, I don't park in driveways anymore. Oh yeah, heavy oxidation on this side. I don't park in driveways anymore, and really my entire rig is different. Speaking of different things about the rig, those Sumo Springs were perfect the entire way. It felt firm, not hard, not bouncy, like it didn't beat me up. It just felt like the whole thing was running smoother, a better balance. Something that I was really worrying me was with the rear end sagging, I took weight off of the front end and this back axle. There's 2 axles here on the back on the trailer. So this axle was not getting nearly the load that that one was because it was pitched. And with everything nice and level now, I think this is gonna be safer and last me a lot longer, I'm really hoping, before we have to upgrade to a 3500. And on top of all the safety concerns I had, this is one of the biggest reasons is I'm right about 30 gallons in my buffer tank right now, and I'm completely set up. I've got both hoses run, I've got doors taped, everything's ready to rock and roll, but I don't have really enough water to start. And if I got here with 50 or 75 gallons in this tank, I would be at 80 to 100, and I could just go ahead and start. Does seem like we are getting a little bit of a lower flow than preferred out of the spigot, so I'm definitely going to want to let this fill up before even attempting to start washing, because there's going to be a lot of waiting on water. So, yay! Hopefully this will be the last time, and we can ride with a little bit of buffer everywhere we go, which is, you know, kind of the point of this whole exercise, is to make it go a little faster and a little safer and a little happier. All right, getting started on this one. Got about 80 gallons in the buffer tank, getting started. And again, this is not giving me nearly enough flow to come anywhere near keeping up. So that's why we have the buffer tank. And that's why I want to not ride empty all the time, especially coming up here into our busy season. And we got the 8 gallon per minute machine, so we go faster. And I think this is going to be the trick to it. You know, no more sitting down waiting for that tank to fill up enough to feed our 8-gallon a minute machine. We're just going to bring a little bit with us. Don't get me wrong, I love the 8-gallon per minute machine. And did a little bit of washing with the 4-gallon per minute last week, and it is just not the same. It's one of those things where it's kind of like when you get hose reels or a CRM, it's hard to go back to not having those things, just because you didn't realize how much you needed it until you had it. And then you're like, well, but I need it. Yeah. I got down to the last side and I ran out of water. So, again, this is hopefully going to be a wonderful investment for me, being able to tote around just a little bit. So, I'm taking a quick break, having myself a tuna sandwich my wife packed for me. And have some chips. Overall, just take a little break while the break is necessary and get back to it here in just a few minutes. We are back in business and just washing right along. A few things I would say, I don't know, I just always travel back down memory lane when I come to these homes that I have cleaned before, just kind of thinking back where I was. We were doing the 4-gallon a minute machine with no buffer tank. We were running on 150 feet of hose, which actually was why I parked in the driveway, is so that I could reach the back of the house. And I did that a lot when I was running 150 feet of hose. 200 feet of hose usually seems to solve that issue. And now I'll only park in the driveway if it's a driveway that is like on a main road and I have to pull off. But subdivisions, I'll usually park in the street and throw my cones out. That seems to keep everybody happy. We were running the Chevy Blazer last time I came out here with the 5x8 trailer. And now we are running the 14-foot trailer on the Nissan Frontier. 8-gallon per minute machine. I have 2 buffer tanks. We've upgraded. I don't know if we have the Whisper Wash. We did not have the Whisper Wash. So we've upgraded just about everything in the last 3 years. Now we still have a lot of the same equipment as our backups, just because the 4-gallon a minute machine was such a workhorse. There's no doubt in my mind that if something were to happen on a job and I had to stop using the 8-gallon per minute machine for any reason, I could switch over to the 4 and get it done, which is why it will always have a place on my trailer. Just tighten that fan a little bit, hit that peak. So definitely love seeing where I've come from, and excited to see what our rig's going to look like 3 years from now. Hopefully not super different, but you never know. Alright, gonna let that refill just a little bit. We're maybe about 30 gallons, but while I go talk to the client, I'll let that come up just a hair. That way we've got a little something to ride around with. And this one came out great as usual. Come around here to the front where it's already dry. This is the southern facing side, so it's drying very quickly. And ta-da! Nice, bright, shiny trim. Clean windows. I touched up the stairs here as well. Just gave them a little love so that it was wouldn't stand out quite as bad. Yeehaw! Alright, so this one is all done for the day. I've got about 60 gallons in the buffer tank. And we went ahead and got her on the schedule for next month. Coming back to do some gutter cleaning while we offer multiple services. So we can come out and take care of these clients and just keep that schedule booked. Alright, final verdict, Sumo Springs are winners. 100% these things were worth every penny I bought them for. Worth every penny we paid for them. I think they were a little under $300 with tax, if I remember correctly, on Amazon. I'll put a link down below. They've leveled the load. They have stabilized the load while driving down the road, and they are now allowing me to haul water. So I 100% recommend them. They are a little bumpier with the trailer off than without the trailer on original springs. So I will throw that out there. If this is your daily driver, this is going to affect your ride quality. Your wife is going to point out, hey, this is really bouncy and bumpy, or this is really bumpy. But honestly, like for me, I don't even notice the difference. And this thing is in use so much for, you know, hauling a trailer. It should be set up to load and haul a trailer safely. So that's what I'm going to do. Highly, highly recommend them. Really glad I did it. Again, Sumo Springs, check out the description below, and you guys be safe out there.